This is James Gibson on the land. I'm James Gibson on the land. I'm James Gibson on the land. I'm James Gibson on the land. And today, I'm sitting here with Mr. Charles Johnson. You know what I'm saying? And just a few years ago, we was walking around a yard in Stateville Correctional Center, a maximum security. And now today, we sitting here both exonerees, certificate of innocence, and giving all our rights back. Y'all welcome to stage, my man.
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody? My name is Charles Johnson. I did 21 years for a crime I didn't commit. You know, and I'm just grateful to be here with my brother on the land with James Gibson, so we can chop it up a little bit.
So tell me, how it been, man, since you've been out, man? When did you get out?
I got out September 26, 2016.
September 26, 2016. Man, I remember when I was in Stateville on the yard, man, and I seen you. I had just won my first reversal in 2016, and you was telling me that you was on your way, man. And so since you been out on the land, man, what have you noticed different, man? How long was you gone?
21, almost 22 years.
22 years, man. And so since you've been out, man, what have you learned? What have you noticed different about the land, man? You know, the land is only the people on the land. So when I be saying I'm James Gibson on land, I'm James Gibson on land, I'm James Gibson on land, I be saying I'm James Gibson on land because I had to do it 3 times on the land in the courtroom. But the land is the people, man. And this is what James Gibson on the land is about, the people on the land. And so I bring people on the show and we just talk about ordinary things, man, that's happening on the land, man. And so tell us about, man, what's been going on the land, man? What you think is going on the land, and what's different on the land?
Oh, it's definitely different since we was on the land. You know, ain't no togetherness.
Ain't no more togetherness.
Nah, the people ain't together no more like we was when we was on the land.
So, you know, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about ain't no togetherness, ain't no love. You can't even say that you sorry no more, man. When did it come to a point that I can't even tell you that I'm sorry if I bump into you?
Everybody too emotional now.
You saying everybody is too emotional? I mean, like, what do you mean too emotional?
Too sensitive. No, it's like, I mean, it take a big man to say you sorry. You know, it take a bigger man to walk away from stuff. But,
wow.
But people look at that different. You know, they look down on that type of stuff. You know, I definitely can be a bigger man and say I'm sorry when I do something wrong.
Wow. So, I ain't been on the land on some of the other lands across the city. But I've been on the land. I've been on the land because my mother told me so. For 32 years, I was on the land. Even though they had my body, I still was on the land. And I was around on the low end, in No Love. They call it 57th Street. That's where I'm from. For those who don't know, I'm from the land. I'm from the land, 57th Street. I come from off the land. And a couple of days ago, I had drove over on the land, and I was taking a picture of an old structure. And I noticed some gentlemen, they had a couch, a table, and a chair. And they was serving.
Wow.
And so they asked me, hey, dude, you serving? I said, no, I'm not serving. I'm sorry. You know, I mean to be disrespectful now. I'm just trying to take a picture of this house. And I walked up to the gentleman. And I looked at the 7 gentlemen. And I had never met any of the gentlemen in my life before, but I looked at their bone structures and I started calling their names. I'm not going to say their names for sake of confidentiality, but I looked at their bone structures and identified them by their grandparents. Oh. Their grandparents that ran with me 30 years ago on that same land. I was able to identify these 4 men I had never met in my life by their bone structure of their ancestors. And I pulled over 20 blocks later and I cried. I cried because 30 years ago, I was standing on that land doing the same thing. And now, 30 years later, we doing the same thing, man. What do you think is happening, man?
It's a cycle. You know what I mean? We could talk about it, but until we show them better, show them that there's another way. Because I can talk to you all day until I'm blue in the face. You know, I can sell you a dream. But if I can show you that dream, then it means something.
So how do we go about showing a dream and talking about a dream? Because we've been talking since we've been here.
I mean, with me and you is different. I mean, because we come from that. But to get to them, like, for example, with the foundation, Things like that. Things you want to do, make them get involved. Make them work. So when they friends see what they doing, they want to do what they do. No, because most of these guys followers anyway. So once they see their friends doing it, they gonna want to do it too.
Well, you mentioned the foundation. I'm glad you brought up the foundation, the James Gibson Foundation will be coming to the land soon, man. My mission has always been, as you know me firsthand in the prison system. I sit at all tables. I don't care if you black or white, Puerto Rican, Hispanics, Mexican, Latinos, BDs, GDs, Vice Lords, Stones, man. I always sit at the table with everybody. Is that not true?
That's true.
And so the reason I was able to sit at the table, because I've never been afraid of change. I've never been afraid of somebody being different. It's all right to be different.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
know what I'm saying? And so I'm bringing this mission to the nation, man, so that I can try to bring a change and bring back some type of understanding and love, man, because God said, man, no matter what God you call him, some say I am, that he said till we change from our ways, man, then we hear our prayers and heal our land. And so what I've been doing for 32 years, man, I just been trying to teach and share and educate this knowledge, because knowledge is pain and pain is knowledge, but it seems like that's not even enough.
It's never enough, man. People always want you to do more.
Why?
Because nobody never satisfied.
Nobody's never satisfied.
But the fact that you're doing your part, all that you can do, and you know you're doing what's right, man, that's all that matters.
Well, I'd like the record to be clear, man. James Gibson sits at all tables, man. I don't discriminate, man. You know what I'm saying? I represent for all people that's been wrongfully convicted, man. I represent for all people that malicious prosecution, man. I'm moving across this nation, man, like never before, man. That's why I have taken my time out and created my own show, James Gibson on the Land, to show people, man, it's about you on the land. The only way we can change the land is starts with you. I'm sitting here today with my friend, man. We walked the prison yard, man, looking at planes fly over us. And one day I used to tell him, well, I used to always tell him,
that's the plane we gonna be on one day.
And I say, man, that plane right there. They say, man, what's wrong with that guy? I say, you got to first see it before you can believe it. Damn. So I'm James Gibson on the Land. Man. I want to thank y'all, man, for joining in with my friend Charles, man. Y'all stay tuned, man, for Torture, man.